All right, the watch list for Wednesday here. It's not going to be very long or involved because tomorrow is the FOMC, the meetings today and tomorrow. Tomorrow they had the FOMC announcement at, I'm sure it's at 2 o'clock. I haven't double checked that, but it's almost always at 2 o'clock. And so what happens is we can get some trades in the morning, some gap plays. Some of these setups maybe we'll set up in the first hour or two. After the first 90 minutes or 2 hours, things just go dead as everything goes on hold waiting for the FOMC announcement, followed by pretty much pure chaos after the FOMC announcement. So really for me, my window to make my daily goal tomorrow is going to be the first 90 minutes. I'm a big fan of trading during safe times, not unpredictable times. So a lot of people love to trade after the FOMC announcement. I throw my hands up and say I have no idea what to do because sometimes it's, rips to new lows, then to new highs, and to new lows again, or vice versa. And so I just step aside. All right, I don't like to leave things to chance. So I trade when I feel safe. All right. So the first 90 minutes tomorrow is crucial if I'm going to make my daily goal tomorrow. That's my mindset. All right. So here we go. QUNR. Crazy action. I mean, absolutely crazy. Gaps up, sells off all day on, Monday. And then today, gaps down a little bit, sells off, and then rips all the way through, at one point engulfing all of Monday's candle. So why is this on watch? Because it had such a move that we might get some kind of narrow range and then a break. We might get a trade out of that one. So I want to have it on watch. A lower volume stock, VTL, but it keeps closing above its open the last few days and certainly looks interesting. We had a nice trade in it yesterday, and it certainly looks interesting. Over 787, this high back here was 789. So, you get up, if you hit 790, this one, might just really rip higher. It's got this gap here and nice volume about, 2 weeks ago. And so you get up over that high, it might go. So it makes pretty nice moves at times. So anyway, it doesn't cost me anything to have it on a chart. Lower volume stock, though. Some bounce plays that I think are worth watching. And bounce plays I always try to have some bounce plays on watch. And that's something that's fairly beaten up and coming down to support, okay? You saw that and this isn't a call now, but saw that in DKS the other day. It was on my bounce play watch list when it got down to 42. I'll have to pan out to show that to you. And you see the nice bounce it had the next day, all right? So you had support there, and it had kind of extension. It was extended to get there. So all right, with that in mind, let's go back to EQT. Pretty much straight down from almost 78 down to 64. Nice bounce in late September, where actually it went down to 63.09. But this is a good candidate for a bounce. Here's an example too from today, Dynegy. And I saw this a little bit late to call it or to trade it, but I saw it literally when it was down at these August lows. All right, and it was already down 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row or whatever. And look at the volume that came in when it got to those August lows. So, and a really nice bounce. So, with that in mind, I actually have DYN on watch. I'll just talk about that now. That's on watch to possibly continue that bounce. But there's an example of an intraday bounce off of support that was down several days in a row. These, if you're a day trader, these can make great trades. All right, so back to EQT. I want to watch that one. You know what I'm going to do real quick? I like to have a line there at those recent lows, and what I often see is a push down below this line, and then you can get a nice reversal oftentimes. All right, so then when you switch to the intraday, and I'll pan out a little bit here. So tomorrow, if this opens up and then starts coming down below this line, and then we'll look for a reversal and maybe a pushback up above that line. I see that all the time. So, take advantage of your line drawing tools on your charts. Okay, so that's EQT. CALM. Just 3 days in a row down, probably, well, I don't know if it's at a trend line here. It probably is if you draw it from here to here to here, it's close to a trend line. As far as support, that's another one that maybe it sells off at the open and comes down near this low, right? So as I just did before, just in case, you never know what's going to happen. This may, gap down and come down and do a reversal right around $50. So since I don't know what's going to happen, it doesn't cost me anything to have it on watch and have that line on the chart. SAVE, I don't know about support on this one. I mean, the 35 area was resistance back here. You got to go whenever you have to go way back, support is a little bit less interesting. But you had this gap down. So this was about 2 weeks ago. This was 51 bucks, and now it's below 35. So you had the gap down, little bear flag, and now 3 big days down on big volume. That's a decent setup for a possible reversal. So don't mistake this and think that, hey, this idiot running great stock picks thinks this is a bullish chart. Remember, I'm a day trader, and this one might bounce tomorrow. That's the extent of why SAVE is interesting to me. DYN I already showed. And then a lower price stock, MNGA, has had a lot of good news lately. I started calling this and liking this, remember, back here, at and around and below $1. Once it broke this trend line here, I said it was interesting. Now it's made a really nice move, almost a 50 or maybe a 50% move here. And now you're down 4 days in a row. So this goes back on bounce watch, hitting the little tail there below the 20-day. That's not a great trader, but I still want to watch it. All right. So I'm going to leave it at that. Hopefully we'll find some gappers to play as well. And remember, tomorrow afternoon, not the best time to trade, at least in my opinion. All right. Have a great night. We'll talk to you tomorrow.